Welcome back to part 2. If you haven't already, please check out the first video of this two-little-parter as I dive into how the first 2 terms of creating this act went. Let's go!
So, coming into term 3, I made an action plan for the entire time up until full-time rehearsals, just so that I could plan out what each week I was going to be doing. With the skills and the order, this term was all about the movement quality, refining the act, and getting my concept solid. So, at the start of the term, I kind of really jotted down any of my ideas that I had for the term, so things to work on, costume ideas, and just also general thoughts about my act, so things to add in and to work on, and the editing my music. So I continued my brainstorm on into term 3 and added more stuff, and sort of kept that going. I feel like at this stage, when I was starting to really solidify my concept, this was when things got interesting, because I was a bit I had lots of thoughts down and things were just getting a little bit messy, and I really wanted it to be simple, but it really wasn't, which was a bit difficult to work through. So at this stage with my concept, I started having my artistic consultations with the amazing Tim Ruddy, who in the first session I was he asked some really difficult questions, and it was really hard to answer some of them basically. And so this really striked a lot of thought process with a lot of my concept, which I knew was really, it made me realize how underdeveloped my concept was and how much work it needed. This is where Tim came in with some amazing help and gave me some questions to answer about my concept. We had some huge and great chats in the first 2 sessions together, and he really helped me find the words and to really flesh out my concept some more. After our first 2 sessions, I showed Tim my act and told him what I wanted help with, which was my concept, my movement quality, and my act overall. The first 2 sessions pretty much covered working on and fleshing out my concept. So after that, we did a lot of work on my movement quality, in my skills and transitions. Having figured out my concept before this helped so much. During this time, I was taking notes from my session with Tim and using them to help work on lots of movement quality research when I didn't have him. And this really helped to flesh out my act overall and just help with conveying the concept through my physicality. Getting partway into the term, when I had finally sort of solidified my act a bit more, there was just constant practice of the act, every day, and reviewing and critiquing it and showing the developments to Tim and working on things like the movement quality and just getting the act to a really refined and polished state, which was really helped by having Tim there to really improve that movement quality to help convey my concept a bit better. For my artistic consultations, I ended up having Tim Ruddy for 5 and Mike Finch for 2. I had some other people give me feedback and help me along the way, which were JB and Ludwig. Okay, so something that our performance teacher got us to do really early on was making a Pinterest board just to collate all of our ideas in one place. And so I posted music ideas and some other inspiration that I had in creating my act really early on, which was a lot of mirror and like perception ideas, some costume ideas, some cool light things, more costume ideas when I was stuck, and some really cool other ideas as well. One thing that really intrigued me a lot that I found through Pinterest was this idea of these mirrors, which are kind of like broken up sculptures, which really intrigued me. And so, of course, I started playing around with making mirror sculptures, which ironically, which in the end didn't really work out because making them and adhering to the policies at NICA was just incredibly hard to overcome those obstacles. So I ended up just omitting that idea and saving it for another time. So with my costume, I had a bit of an idea of what I wanted to do, but I hadn't found anything right up until like the start of term 3, which was like cutting it pretty fine. So I had basically no idea what I wanted for my costume until when I was shopping one day and I popped into Designer Space across the road from NICA. I saw a brand that like sparked my interest. They were called Phantom Wear, and they had these very like techno and like futuristic like silvery style, and it was literally perfect. It was so perfect that it actually helped me to realize some of my concept and to help flesh my concept out. After I found their brand, I researched them online and found out that they did bespoke items, which was so amazing because some of the pieces that they had in the shop weren't quite right, and I wanted to like get something a little bit more specific because as aerialists we have to have like really certain requirements met with costumes. So I found out that they did bespoke items, and I emailed them with like what I was hoping to get, and they like emailed me right back, which was amazing. So me and the guys at Phantom Wear sort of had this like lovely back and forth organizing this costume top, which ended up being perfect for me. For my costume pants, I got some of their off cards and just sewed a couple strips onto my pants just to sort of bring the entire look together. I was stuck using my old music for most up until like term 2, end of term 2. In third term, I was using my old music until my aerial training buddies showed me a song that they improvised to before. And they were like, oh, this could be good to like improvise to. But turned out it was a perfect piece of music. It fitted my concept really well, and so I was able to work on that music and add in some sound effects and just worked on making it really perfect. All of these parts came together to create my act, The Modern Fight. The teaser for this act is also up, so check it out if you haven't already. As we've come to the end of this video, I feel like it's a good idea to just do some overview notes because this was a bit of a long video. Alright, the points. Number 1, do a Pinterest board from the start. It's just a great place to collate all of your ideas into one place. Number 2, brainstorm concept ideas. It doesn't matter if it's stupid, just write it down. You never know, you could come back to it and read it and it might spark something. Number 3, everyone has their own 2 cents that they want to give you. You can't take on everyone's advice, so you kind of have to decide which 2 cents to invest in. Funny. Number 4, get your own equipment to perform on because it's just super helpful to be ready and prepared for the outside world, and it's a good experience performing on your own equipment. Number 5, get a mentor, or if you're at NICA and you get the artistic consultations, just do your research, find out who's around, and have a couple of names to go to. And also knowing what you need help with. That can be super helpful so that you're not just going in blind. Number 6, film everything. Old improvs or brainstorms can be super helpful to watch back and just gain ideas from. It's also super important because it means you can watch back your run-throughs and critique them and just make notes on what you need to work on.
Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this video, or at least some parts of it, helpful. A shout out and thanks to Tim Ruddy for the artistic consultations. He was amazing. My coach Ludwig, even though I've only had him for a term, it's been amazing with him. And just the other sort of like my friends and the other coaches that have helped me along the way with the journey of creating this act. Thank you. If you do have any questions, pop them in the comments below or come chat to me in person. Please support me and hit the like button down below. I really appreciate it.